All right.
So we had a relatively productive engagement. Both sides agreed, the president and I, that this matter is so important that it should be settled in the matter of days. So we are hoping that with good faith negotiations on both sides that we can resolve the matter of the new chairman of GECOM within a matter of days. Those are the president's words themselves. And so that's one. Two, we agreed that we will, both sides with smaller groups will get together to try to hammer out the names, because I will submit names, and the president, as I said in my letter, he could initiate names. We are not averse to him suggesting names too, but the constitutional responsibility to submit the 6 names are those, or is that of the leader of the opposition. And so the CCJ ruling did not change the constitution. And the constitution of Guyana says 6 names must originate from the leader of the opposition, and they must done only through consultation with the non-governmental political parties in parliament. That's what the constitution says. We are prepared to consider names if the president were to suggest those names in an informal process that hopefully will start with a smaller team over the next couple of days. Thirdly, I suggested that I will start with a resubmission of the 80 names appropriately adjusted for people who may not want to have their names resubmitted. So we'll use those names as a starting point to go back through each name to see if we can come up with 6 names from that list. Should we not agree on all 6 names coming from those 18, then we will be supplying additional names. And of course, the president is free to suggest names too, but at the end of the day, we'll have to make a determination that they are acceptable to us. So this is where we're at. I also indicated to the president that I will write him about the other issue, about this house-to-house issue and the falsehood spread by many in his party. And I said to him, if the concerns are genuine and we want to treat your concerns expressed as president as genuine concerns about credible elections, where you indicated erroneously that the young people will not be on the list, or the list would be flawed without a house-to-house registration, that I would like to discuss this at length, to show you how we can have credible elections with just updating the list through claims and objection. I pointed out to the president that the 4 elections that are held on the same list. In 2011, his party won the majority in the parliament on this very list. In 2015, he won the government on this list. They've held 2 local government elections on this very list. And so they had no problem with the list before. So I said, if the concerns are genuine, we want to engage on them. And but if it's just applied to delayed elections, then we're not going to make any headway. And so I'll write him to that effect too, to meet on that separate issue. That is in relation to the timeline for holding election, which should be 3 months.
So you're not bent on any possible extension of that 3 months?
No, we did not discuss that, and right now the answer is no.
The meeting was only on
my constitutional duty to, in light of the CCJ ruling, to address the issue of the chairman of GECOM.
You went in with 6 persons, though? You went in with a list today?
We didn't get around to the names. We dealt a lot with the process. And so, as I said, the process, I just outlined the process. And I also told you who my starting list would be.
Of the 18.
Who will those be?
It's people from the 18 who are still willing.
Like an example, 2 examples of the 18.
But all of those on the 18 who are willing to submit their names back, and maybe who the events have not overtaken. There's already some issues about, some people might be a lawyer in a court matter, and that was raised. So we'll go through that list again, and then we will and then we will engage the president. But this will happen in a matter of a day.
So you know Mr. Lakshan Singh and Mr. Josing are still available.
Who?
General Josing and Mr. Lakshan Singh are still available.
They're both, we confirm from them, and they're both available.
Were they on year 6 that you took in today?
No, we did not discuss
No, but
any name today. We said we settled the process. So I said to the president, we will start with the 18, and he agreed with that. He's not averse to it. He said, please confirm from the people that they're still willing to put their name forward. I had called most of them already, and so we will start with the 18,
And when
appropriately adjusted.
Representing you in the small meeting.
I'll determine that later.
and when again
But
did this
but we are hoping this is a matter of days, so early next week to re-engage. So I hope that what the president reflected in the meeting, that this matter should be settled in days, that is actually given effect through meetings.
So you're optimistic today?
Is it politically advantageous to the PDP to use the existing voters list? That is why you're so gung-ho in using the existing voters list?
The list doesn't confer advantages. The list, on the same list, APNU won several elections. It's not a list that confers advantage to a political party. It's your policies and your hard work on the ground. I saw David Hines saying APNU had one look at this list and decided it can't win the elections on it. That's why it wants house-to-house registration. So we must not go until to elections until APNU gets a list that they can win the elections on. That's the converse. That's the logic of it. The list is there are eligible people allowed to vote on election day.
Our question is, using the existing list, are you likely to take advantage of it by having some of your supporters in the diaspora be told home to vote?
Dennis, the thing is that if you're on the list, as a Guyanese, you're eligible to vote. If you're on the list, whether they're from Brooklyn or Queens or Jamaica or Barbados and they're Guyanese, they're eligible to vote. Are you asking me the converse? Is that their aim for house-to-house registration is to disenfranchise people who are on holidays? I believe that house-to-house registration on their part is a ploy to delay the elections. They don't want elections in 3 months. And so they know going to house registration would mean elections next year.
The flaw is not also to disenfranchise
No, I don't think so. I think they may want to drop a few names, etc., if they get to that. But the key issue is they don't want to go to elections. They're afraid of elections. Thank you.